Good to see you, my friend. Well, let's go, right? Hello, hi. Not quiet, girl. Afterwards, you'll notice that I am not quiet at all. It's just that I just started and I was setting things up. It was a bit late today, and somehow I think I have a few things I need to set up. Yeah. Can you guys tell me how are you today? How are you today? Well, I'm still setting up. Can you guys tell me how are you today? And yeah, I'm still trying to set up, but we'll be done very, very soon, okay? Yeah. Are you the one who talks about China? Yes, I am. I am, my friend. Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's just that I am on business trip today, so that's why the whole layout is like very different, and you don't see a boards there. But I mean, like you're my old follower, I guess. Like you've been in my live streaming for long, so that is why like you recognize my face, and you know that I am the one who talks about China. Right? So today we have a lot to share again. So as well. So like of course like you guys are very welcome to sending any questions you have, and I will see the questions and I will answer them. Yeah.哎呀，这个网怎么回事啊？网太……算了，不管了，就这么着吧。OK。Jogging, good, good. 来喽 OK. I would not miss you for anything, my dear friend. It was only 24 hours and the left I felt. Good, good, good. Yes, I've been very busy with my personal life. That is fantastic. Yeah. 不是老师啊，不是老师。I am good. Whenever I had my business trip, I just or like traveling, I always have this kind of sleep issue that I only sleeps very well on the bed that I am very used to. Whenever I change to a new bed, then somehow I just couldn't sleep very, very well. So it happens again yesterday and the day before yesterday. Like whenever I stay at a hotel, whenever like things change, no matter it's about the bed, the pillow, like everything, like once it's changed, that I just don't sleep very well. So overall speaking, I don't feel as energetic as back then when I was at home, or like yesterday was like still fine, but today I feel like the energy level is definitely declining, and like every day is like also very busy, especially when it's business trip. So however, I will still try to be as energetic as possible. Yeah, 非常的认床。哎呀，怎么办？ Try to be as energetic as possible. And one great thing about doing live streaming every day from 7:30 to 9:30 is, not sure if you guys find it too, because whenever you start to talk, and like when you talk about things that you're passionate about, or you just talk with people who you also consider to be interesting, and you really like enjoy the conversation, somehow it's almost like a boost, like energy boost, like drinking energy drink. And all of a sudden, after talking for a while, like your brain becomes so excited, and you no longer feel like very tired, like you feel very refreshed and very energetic. So that's basically what happened to me after the 2 hours of live streaming every day. Like every day after the 2 hour of live streaming, I immediately feel the morning energy becomes like so much higher than before. So that's like one thing great I really like about doing live streaming in the morning. Even though like I just woke up, like I was supposed to be like least energetic when I just woke up. However, after doing live streaming for 2 hours, I was like feeling so energetic and so ready to start the day. And it's almost like I already boost up myself, you know. 他应该得到支持，非常的美丽和聪明。Thank you, my friend. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. So yesterday, my friend, yesterday night, I have something I want to share with you. I actually met a girl who's also an English content creator on RedNote and also on TikTok, I think, as well. So I was like, once I started doing live streaming, I would also pay attention to other live streamers, right? And see how they are live streaming in their own live stream room. And I noticed this girl whose RedNote name is called Ashu. Have you guys, any one of you have seen her live streaming before? And like, she's like very amiable. I really like her style. And then I just text to her and say that, hey, how are you? And I remember also seeing in one of her live streaming, and she mentioned that, okay, she's also doing startups. She's also an entrepreneur herself. And right now she's also doing an cross-border business, e-commerce business. I was like, oh my God, we share something in common. I do want to meet her. So I sent her a separate message and asked like, hey, where are you based? And then she said, okay, I'm in Shenzhen. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to visit Shenzhen like next week. Can we catch up? And she's like, sure, like tell me when are you here? Like, let's have dinner together, you know? So we met yesterday. It was such a fantastic experience, my friend. Like, we talked for 3 hours, like share so many things, like our experiences as like how did we start up, as how do we finally switched from large corporate jobs to like being an entrepreneur ourselves, and how we accidentally become a live streamer on RedNote and also on TikTok. You know, like we share so many things in common. We talked for like almost 3 hours, until it's not because we feel like we have finished everything. It's literally because I have a meeting at 9 p.m. yesterday, so I have to go back to the hotel. Otherwise, I feel like we could just keep on talking for like 4 hours, 5 hours and non-stop. And at the end of the dinner, and both of us were like, oh my God, it would be great if we are in the same city and we can hang out a lot more, you know, that kind of feeling. It's like so great. So there are so many things, so many positive energy and so many great things that happened ever since I started doing live streaming. Like I mentioned multiple times that you guys, like every day there's so many people coming to my live, and then we talked, and like lots of the things you guys shared with me are so eye-opening, right? Really helpful for me, helpful for my thinking process. Like I mentioned it yesterday, right? And also, like I said, I was able to make friends with so many people of you guys, right? And also things like every morning it's like really refreshing, and also like getting the support from you guys is amazing. And another wonderful thing is like I make new friends, people like Ashu that I met last night, and we just shared so many different topics. I feel like many of the topics that I could also like share with you guys today, and we can have a very lovely, you know, discussion on that. Yeah, what's her handle? What do you mean by what's my handle, my friend? Yeah, Shenzhen and Shanghai only actually 2 hours. I think it's not 3 hours. 3 hours is like the maximum from like flight taking off to landing. That's like what's usually shown on when you book the air ticket. However, the entire flight should only takes around like 2 hours. So it's definitely very convenient. Also, you could also take like high-speed rail from Shenzhen to Shanghai, and only takes you around like I think around 8 to 10 hours. You can just book a very comfortable like sleeping kind of seat. And I just noticed like those high-speed rail in China, there's like one high-speed rail that travels from Shenzhen to Beijing, and the sleeping seat are like so good. Like I really want to try it, because it's like so private. You have your very own room and you could just sleep, and there's a desk. It's like the first class on plane, but it's like your very private room, and it's on a high-speed rail, and you can just take that, and it's not like very costly. Like for example, I think the train from Shenzhen to Beijing probably just only takes you like 1,000 renminbi. Like so good. 10 hours, right? Like so good. That's like very amazing. I just know about it yesterday, like when my partner showed me the photos of the sleeping seat on those high-speed rail, and it was amazing. I definitely wanted to try it. So every time I was taking plane. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of taking flights, because like unless you're riding in, unless you're booking the business class, otherwise like economy class is always like very, the space is very limited, like especially for people like me who are very tall, right? Always find it hard to stretch my legs. And for example, if you ride high speed rail, it's always like very spacious. And also when I see those like sleeping seats, like with like literally a really good bed with like duvet, you know, pillows, everything, like I just wanted really want to try it. Yeah, so on the flight it's like very packed, right? But high-speed rail is like, even though you're riding the worst seat, you're sitting in the worst seat on the high-speed rail, and it's still like amazing. I think the worst seat is like the secondary seat. It's like still like very spacious, and you could like easily just lie down and take a rest. And there is also like Wi-Fi or free, well, not Wi-Fi. Do we have Wi-Fi on high-speed rail? Yes, we do. There's also like free Wi-Fi. If there's no Wi-Fi, that's also fine, because you could just use your own data, right, on your phone. However, like whenever on your plane, you either have to pay for the Wi-Fi or you have no Wi-Fi at all, right? So these are like really amazing about the high-speed rails. So yeah, just so if any one of you guys want to travel to China, definitely try the high-speed rail, okay? Try the public transportation system here, and the best one is the high-speed rail. You'll be amazed, fascinated by like how fast those high-speed rail travels, like from one city to another city, like literally in a flash, and you're there, you know? And these, like the distance between two cities are actually like really far. However, like with the help of high-speed rail, you could just travel from one place to another place so comfortably. Yeah. Yes, Wi-Fi on high-speed rail. Yeah, right? Yeah. And guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so. Yeah. I gotta stop seeing you every day. Don't stop. Don't stop. Yeah. So like, yeah, so continue about like yesterday, the dinner with Ashu. So she also, like me, like we shared a very similar background and also quite similar age, even though I was a little bit older than her. So she also graduated from a university. She attended a university in China for her undergrad degree, and later pursued a master's degree overseas, and then joined a very large firm. And then like later decided to go out and start an entrepreneurial like startup herself. Like we should like very similar, and also it's like also like accidentally started live streaming because of the TikTok ban, everything. So she said that she literally just sent something on her TikTok account about like her Red Note account name, and somehow overnight and she got over 50,000 followers. And then she felt like, okay, since I have so many followers, maybe I should just start a live streaming. And that's like how she accidentally started everything and did everything up till now, and she's doing it pretty good. And me, likewise, like January TikTok ban, so many people coming to Red Note. I just felt like, okay, maybe I should just try and have a live streaming room started. Just accidentally started, and just started doing it all the way till now. And there are so many people coming to my lives and say that they really like me. They're watching my live every day. So that's very amazing. We also come down to many I consider to be quite interesting discussion topics about, say for example, because we both have worked in large corporate and like a large industry, right? I work in banking industry, and she worked in, well, tech industry, to be specific, gaming industry. So to be honest, I still feel like both industries are very male dominant. So she shared about like, even though, okay, this is like a very big firm she's working for, and also like back then she also got paid pretty well. However, she never really liked the work culture, work environment. It's just because like she's very good at enduring everything, and she's like, okay, I could just do this job and I just keep on doing this job. So that's why she just kept on doing it until like one day she discovered, okay, I should just try pursue something else for myself. And like one of the things she mentioned about like she really disliked about working in this very male dominant kind of environment is, for example, she mentioned about like, for example, you could just observe from those many tiny things and discover that this is a like very male dominant kind of environment. For example, she mentioned like in those annual party, So I'm not sure about you guys. Like here in Asia, I think in other countries as well, maybe. Like at the end of the year, like those companies would have an annual party, like annual gathering to celebrate. Hey, we end this year. So it's usually like those companies would rent a very big hotel, the whole ballroom of the hotel, and then have like all the employees come in here and like eat together and and toast to each other. And usually there's also a stage so that they would have people to go onto the stage and give them like awards. For example, this person gains the most hardworking employee of the year, that person gets blah blah blah, what kind of awards. So there's like usually like awarding ceremony as well. So she said that, like, for example, like one thing she noticed is that whenever there's this kind of awards ceremony, they always send those like beautiful young girl employee to give those awards to those people who got the awards. You know, to be honest, like that doesn't feel really good, because those girls, they are very young, they are very beautiful, but they come to this company not because of the appearance, or they don't want their appearance to be abused. Like it's almost like they are the entertaining type of girl to kind of just entertain those like leaders like of the teams, like by just giving them this awards, like at like those kind. You guys get it, right? Do you guys get it? So like I could feel that. And she said like also like inside the team there's also like a very male dominant culture, and like we share a lot of like thoughts on that. So I also remember back then when I first started my job in the finance industry. When I first started, I worked in a Japanese investment bank, actually, as an intern. Okay, I interned in a Japanese investment bank. Not gonna mention the name, but you guys can tell like it's a Japanese firm for sure. It's like very male dominant, right? I still remember very clearly. And the other night, so okay, the boss, the team leader, was having a dinner with his clients. So basically what he did is like he brought 4 interns, like 4 good-looking, beautiful interns. One of them, of course, includes me, and like brought us to the dinner with the clients. So altogether there are 4 men. And how did we 4 interns sit? Like each of us sit beside one man. So it's like a square table, like 4 men sit at the four sides of the tables, and like each of us like sit beside a man. So to be honest, that kind of atmosphere really made me feel not so comfortable. Well, because back then I was too young, I was an intern. Even though I don't feel very comfortable, I said nothing. Also, during that dinner, I still tried to entertain people and try to, you know, just please everyone, and also like toast, you know, pour the wine for them, etc. However, I was not supposed to do that, right? So like we shared a lot about that in our dinner yesterday. What's the brand of your necklace and earrings? They look so nice. You really like that, right? Okay, my friend, I'm glad you like that. Well, actually, I'm a huge fan of myself of all those earrings and necklace. I would wear them from time to time, and every day just change different styles. Yeah, but I was on business trip today, so that's why I'm basically wearing the same thing every day. Yeah. An ex-friend called me to help her in a scenario like that. Yeah, right. So you know, that's the thing about like females working in a very male dominant kind of environment. I'm pretty sure there are many girls who have encountered the same situation, especially when you're good looking. So we just shared experiences like that and discuss about the culture, the very male dominant culture in those kind of industry. In industry, even though we worked in very different industries, however, like we experienced the very similar situations. So of course, after we have able to develop ourselves and grow older and more senior, right? I later, of course, when I was able to deliver like really good financials every year, like always the top performer in the team, always the top 3 performer, right? Always in the team every year, and also got fast-tracked, promoted back then in my job, and nobody dared to do that to me anymore. It was like you really have to, as a female working professionally, I feel like we have to work a lot harder to earn the kind of title we actually deserve to earn the respect from day one. Unlike if it's a male, then they would never encounter a situation like that, right? Well, of course, you would be asked by the boss to go to a dinner to entertain the client. It's not the same way as like a female needs to entertain, you know, it's very different. I mean, yeah. How would you compare Chinese tea culture against Japanese, Indian, British tea culture? Very different, I think. So I would believe like Chinese tea culture and Japanese tea culture to be quite similar. Not sure about Indian and British culture because I am, you know, I don't know anything about their tea culture. Well, I know about British tea culture a bit because they add milk inside the tea. However, in our tea culture, traditional tea culture, we don't have like any milk added inside the Chinese tea. Yeah. Hope that answers your question. Yeah, so we discussed a lot around that because to be honest, there are many females just like us that we consider ourselves to be equally smart. Well, sometimes even smarter than many of the male colleagues that we work together, right? And you know, and also like we have lots of ideas, and at the same time, we are also beautiful and we pay a lot of attention about our appearance, right? That doesn't mean that, you know, whenever people see a girl who's like pretty, you know, somehow like they immediately judge you, especially when it's like in the professional space, that people immediately judge you as like, oh, okay, you are in here because you're pretty. It's not because you have something in you. So I really hate that kind of stereotype. I still remember when I joined the firm, like in the first year, there were like male colleagues, like, okay, so there was one time that I need to prepare as the host of the morning meetings, like Asia morning meetings. I'm supposed to be the host of that entire week's of morning meeting. It was the first time doing that as a fresh graduate. I definitely was very nervous about that. So I would just go to a colleague for help and I want to ask for his advice, like, hey, okay, so it's a rare opportunity. It definitely is a golden opportunity for me to showcase myself. However, I've never done it before. So could you give me some advice, like, you know, how should I do it? How should I host the entire Asia morning meeting? They're all, and managing directors are in here. So what should I say? What should I not say, right? I ask. And I still remember very clearly that male colleague, he basically answered in a way that he just stereotyped you that as a girl, like, okay, you just like to buy bags, buy fashions, and you're so empty inside. Like, she also always used those kind of metaphor that describe you, like everything he said. Like, literally, I don't think he gives me any valid advice. So basically what he's trying, the kind of attitude is like, oh my God, you wanted to master it? No way, look at you, you're so young and you're pretty. I can tell you're basically just type of a girl who always just like to buy all those like fashion things, fashion brands, and like you don't have a brain, you know, that kind of attitude that really quite make me a bit pissed off. However, I was like entry level, like I was like nobody, right? First come into industry. So still, like, even though the kind of conversation was pretty insulting, I still have to take it. Still have to show my politeness. But of course, later I was able to definitely master the entire morning meeting very well. So that is fine. Somehow, you know, those kind of experiences, I don't know, somehow, yeah, we had lots of discussion around that yesterday about this like male, female kind of thing. So I guess like as a female in working, we are definitely considered to be minorities. And also if you go up and see, also another reason why I want to be an entrepreneur myself is also because if you look at those like large corporations and if you look at who are the leaders, like the senior leaders, it's always men. It's like very hardly do you see a lot of women finally able to become very top ranking kind of senior leaders. Well, I would consider the company that I worked for back then, that US company, to be relatively better because in my department, I do see quite some like very strong and good female leaders. So in that sense, that is definitely better than like the companies of Ashu worked at, like the girl I met yesterday, right? So the problem more about the company I work with was it's an American firm. I basically just saw all white people, so it's like hard for Asian people to get promoted and become like a very top leader inside the firm. I literally see like little chance of that. So like maybe I just become an entrepreneur myself. There's like more potential in my career and more thing I can deliver. And also I consider myself as a woman with very, you know, a lot of energy inside me, and also I consider myself to have a very smart brain. So definitely I could start a business myself. Then why shouldn't I just be the leader and do everything myself, right? Yeah. So let's see what the other. You live in China now? I do, yes. Thank you, Patty, for answering for me. Yeah. You're what is GHT? Mostly male leader? Yeah, business trip, Qishan. Yes, that's why it's in the hotel room. Yeah, so share a lot about those kind of experience I had, right? I guess that probably resonates with many of the females friends in front of the screen, right? Some people I know probably are younger than me who might just started your career. So these might be the things, these things that I experienced probably might also be the things that you would experience for those young audience here right now in my live streaming. And also for like people who are older than me, probably you have already experienced it and you just feel like, oh, that is okay, or like you feel like everything has improved a lot. 不是美国人呢，是中国人啊。但是你能这么问，应该是觉得我英文的这个美国口音很重，是吧？Yeah. Does China have more female leaders than the US? I don't think so. I was like sharing also before, like I was having, so when I started my career, I worked for the US firm, and like I had this dinner with one English speaking content creator. And then when she started her career, she worked in a Chinese large company, one of the largest companies in China. And she also shared that it was like very male dominant kind of culture. So according to my observation, I definitely don't think like in China, we have more female leaders than male leaders. However, having said that, if we compare US and China, I still consider that, well, I do think that, well, not to compare US and China, I think that's not okay, because I feel like US is also pretty good on that. I feel like it's better to compare like China with, like, for example, Europe, Australia, those other Western countries, because I feel like in China, women are more encouraged to go out and work. So I do see like many families, both couples are outside and work, have jobs, even though they have children. And I know that's not an easy thing to do for other countries. So like, I know like, for example, my friends also who are Chinese, right? And they live in Sydney, and they told me that, well, once they start to have children, then it's almost like quite impossible for like both parents to take on full-time jobs. Like there always has to be like one parent to be a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad, or like even though eventually like the kid grows a bit to the age of 2, 3, somehow they could start working, still it has to be like half-time, not like full-time. So right here in China, I noticed like so many people here in China are like full-time, both parents, working parents. But you would wonder, right, like, oh, okay, so if both parents are working parents, what happened to their children? So I feel like it's because we have a very good system of taking care of the children. So for example, having a full-time nanny at home is not like something too expensive. Like you have like working parents, then it's like really affordable to have a full-time nanny to come at home to take care of your children, or part-time nanny to take care of your children, right? It's not like definitely not affordable, or like it's affordable, it's just like the same amount of money you would earn like salary. So basically, why don't you, because my friend in Australia, she told me that, okay, I could definitely hire a nanny, but if I hire a nanny, probably I would give more money to her than what I would earn from my job. So why don't I just stay at home and take care of my children myself, right? And also sending those kids to those daycare centers is also very, very expensive, according to her. So somehow in China, like sending the children to daycare and also like somehow also having a full-time nanny, like it's definitely very affordable. And lots of those kind of daycare I know are also like state-owned, so definitely very affordable compared to those kind of daycare centers. I feel like the overall vibes in China is that our society really encourage women to go out and work compared to some of the countries in the West, right? I think like definitely in Australia, because I do have friends in Australia, right? And the kind of environments in Australia is that they don't encourage women, or well, not women, they don't encourage both parents, I would say. They don't encourage both parents to go out and work. So when you don't encourage both parents to go out to work, so it's usually the woman, the mom, who will stay at home to take care of the baby, right? Not the father. Usually that's the case, right? So as a result, lots of the women are not able to go out and work in countries like Australia. And also likewise, like I also told you guys multiple times that I have very good friend who's an Austrian, same with her. Like, so she has 3 boys. Oh my God, that is like so unimaginable, right? To take care of 3 boys. The 3 girls are relatively better, but like 3 boys, oh my God. And so just because they have 3 boys, like basically she and her husband, the couples, are not able to like work like before, like full-time jobs, and both are able to develop their careers like very well. So they basically like, you know, almost like both of them are like part-time or even full-time at home housewives or husbands in order to take care of their 3 boys. So that's, you know, the kind of system in the West. However, compared to that in here in China, so we also have another, apart from the very affordable like daycare center and very affordable full-time nannies, we also have this culture that the elderly would come in here to help the younger generation to take care of the 3rd generation, right? 家里面很多老人都会帮忙来去带孩子。It's like a really, really rich culture. And also for our generation, we would even feel like, oh my God, if my parents are unwilling to come over to help with our grandchildren, it's almost like a sin, you know. It's a stereotype like, oh, okay, elderlies are supposed to come in to help. However, if you think really hard, they don't have any obligation to come over to help you take care of your 3rd generation, like the grandchildren, right? However, that's the mentality in China that, okay, grandparents are supposed to come in to help take care of the grandchildren. So as like young parents of children, for our generation, right, we're at the generation who are supposed to have children, so we do feel a lot of support from everywhere, from the society. So that's why like it feels like very, very okay for both parents to go out and work and pursue our career, because we have the full support from both inside the family and from the society to help take care of the children. So from that sense, I consider like females' careers are like really good in China because of all those like wonderful support. Like we don't need to be a stay-at-home mom to take care of the kids. So there are a lot more possibility when it comes to career, right? Compared if I were working in some other Western countries, like I mentioned about like Australia, right? Austria, those kind of countries, then probably I wouldn't be able to pursue my career like before, or at least I have to stop for several years to take care of my babies until they're grown up to a certain age, they don't require lots of attention, then I could switch back to Korea. However, also there's a saying, like once you stopped from working in your career, right, for several years, it's not the same like you return. For example, you have already reached executive, right? And after you quitted your job, because of you need to take care of your children, and several years you return, it's not like you could just keep on working as an executive. It's like you have to stop for a while, and you probably have to de-rank to a very junior level and start from there. So definitely lots of sacrifice if you have to just stop simply because you are pregnant and you're having baby. You have to take care of your babies, right? That is like really unfair to females. So relatively fairer in China. However, also because of that, so back then I started my career in Hong Kong. Overall speaking, I think at least in the financial industry and working in Hong Kong, the kind of attitude towards females getting pregnant, having babies are relatively more friendly. 谢谢萤火. Are relatively more friendly. I don't feel like people, when they are hiring, they would try to see, okay, if this person has already got married and whether she has already had babies. It's not like that. However, when I first returned to Shanghai and I find headhunters to help me look for jobs, she will literally ask me, okay, like in very subtly, very indirect way, like, okay, are you married? Do you have kids? like I said, why does that matter? Like, why does that matter? Like, well, no matter I am married or not, whether I have kids or not, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't really relate it how capable I am at mastering my job, right? Somehow they would just ask you those kind of questions because, you know, if you are not married, if you don't have kids, then somehow it means that you probably will have to take maternity leave after you taking on this job, right? So somehow that would mean that, okay, they probably don't want you to be in this job, and I consider that to be like discrimination. Somehow that's, yeah, something bad about it. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see what are the questions we have here. Yeah, 你好吗？我很好. Yeah. Are Chinese families more centered on community, or they push their kids to move out at 18 like America? Yeah, we discussed it before, I remember, several weeks ago. Yeah, we discussed that before several weeks ago about this is the very interesting topic, okay? The very culture difference. I actually asked American friends about that. So I asked in my live streaming to my American friends about like, hey, do you guys really push your kids out at the age of 18? Like, you really feel like, hey, they shouldn't just live with their parents after they reach the age of 18? Like, I asked that because I was very curious to know. It's definitely not the case here in China, okay? So like, our Chinese parents always want the families to be together. No matter how old are you, even though like you're married, some of the parents still want you to live with them together as a big family. So that is a very interesting difference when it comes to culture. So we would only consider ourselves to be independent, that we should move out and live and form our families ourselves when we are married. Okay, so because nowadays lots of the young couples, they don't want to live with the older generation. They want to have their own space, right? We have new family members coming in. They probably are very different, like living habits, like potentially will cause conflicts and also cause like arguments inside the home. So like lots of the young generations, they would say, okay, I don't want to live with the older generation. So once they get married, they would move out and live in their own small little apartment. Right? And also we discuss about, you know, during the wedding, before the wedding, both parents will have to give gifts in red envelopes with cash in it to each other. Well, actually, to be honest, that is actually funding to the young couple to start their own family, right? So that's the kind of culture nowadays that like, okay, young couples, when they get married, they would move out and have their own families. Usually before couples are married, many young people would stay with their parents no matter how old they are. So you would also see like people who are already at the age of 30, right? Still, because they're not married, they're single, they're living with their parents. That is pretty common here in China. And parents would not want their children to move out. So some children would want to move out. Okay, I'm already 27, I'm already 30. Like, I don't want to live with my parents anymore. I want to move out. The parents were like, oh, really? Do you want to move out? Why do you want to move out? You're not married. You're supposed to live with us. You know, the mindset is like very different, my friend. Like very different. So the other day there was a video that got viral on TikTok, and later someone just you know, also put that video on RedNote and got so viral here as well. That video showed a mom recording her daughter who's at the age of 18. I think that's a British family, an English family, right? And the mom was like, you need to move out. If you want to stay in my home, you have to pay. You have to pay the rent every month. And the girl was like, the daughter was like so pissed off, like, what? Are you saying that I can no longer live in here? And if I live here in my very own home that I need to pay? What are you talking about? Like, she's so pissed off, and that video got so viral, right? And then also that video also caught my attention. I was like, oh, okay. I heard about the fact that, okay, so in the West, especially for example in the US and maybe in some other Western countries as well, that okay, once the children reach the age of 18, parents would no longer want them to stay at home. But I never know that you would literally just have a conversation with the children to push them out, or like literally ask them to pay, okay, at the age of 18, once you reach the age of 18 and okay, you still want to stay with us. Because in China, it's not the same. It's not like, okay, parents would say, okay, you need to move out. Parents would feel sad, like their children want to move out. So I shared before that I have this friend who's like always like very independent, and to be honest, I don't think she really likes her mom. So she actually moved out at a very early age. Once graduated, able to find a job and got salary herself, like she immediately moved out. And her mom was like, oh, so sad. And her mom called my mom and cried. And like, oh my God, Angela moved out. Oh, how could she be so not 孝顺, like so not good at me, you know? 孝顺 means like you have to be really, really good at really good with, you really have to treat your parents really well, respect them, obey them, and listen to them. This is like considered to be a virtue in China, and the word for that is 孝顺. And she's like, oh my God, my daughter is so not 孝顺. And she thought about moving out. She moved out right after she got a job. I am so sad about it. Like, she cried on the phone. And my mom was like, oh my God, well, would that happen to my daughter as well? Because my daughter is also very independent. So my mom also called me and said like, okay, I got this phone call from Angela's mom and she cried. I'm pretty sure you're very 孝顺, right? You would not do anything like that, right? And she literally said that, you know. It was very funny. So that's like the culture difference. So yeah. Yeah, so I saw people here say that I don't want my kids after 18 to stay with me, right? My friends in here are saying, right? Yeah, so I see there's lots of difference. We also discussed before, gonna share with new joiners here, new friends here coming into the lives now, is that also, you know, in the West, it's a culture, right? So for elderly, that once people get old, you either go to a nursing house or you still stay at your own house, right? You take care of yourself or you hire a nurse to come over and take care of you yourself, right? It's never a thing that you would go and trouble your children to take care of you. So you wouldn't consider like your children has the obligation to take care of you, right? So that's a very different culture. So however, like in China, like when our parents get old, it's definitely considered an obligation of the children to take care of the parents. So I have shared it before, but this is somehow is a very interesting topic, right? We could definitely discuss it again. So it's like very different. So like for example, in the West, people say that okay, when parents get old, you know, the best thing to do is probably I could help the parents to find a nursing home they really like with great environment and send the parents to the nursing home. However, here in China, sending parents to a nursing home is considered to be, honestly speaking, not a good behavior because it's not very 孝顺. If you are good children, you should just take your parents. If they are like already become disabled, they need a lot of help, you should take them to stay with you so that you take care of them every day. Even though you could hire a nurse to come in and help, but you are supposed to do many things by yourself in person. Like for example, by changing the diapers, of course, you could hire a nanny to help change the diapers. However, if you are really 孝顺, you're really a very good children, you're a really good daughter, good son, you are supposed to change the diaper for your parents, you know? So these are like very different mentalities. So I feel like the family bonding is a lot stronger in Asia, generally speaking, and China, right? Compared to, if we can also make a comparison between different countries inside Asia, right? That's considered to be very interesting, right? For example, Korea, the kind of like culture, the community family culture is even stronger than China. So I think, so say for example, usually, so Korea has never had those single child policies. So in many of their families, they have many children. So Korea also like Japan is a very male dominant kind of society, in my opinion. So in many of the Korean families, the eldest son is supposed to live with the parents, even though they get married. So that's why they're saying in Korea, I heard, which is that, okay, don't marry the eldest son, marry the youngest son. Because if you are the eldest son, you marry the eldest son, then you have to be the daughter-in-law living with your parents-in-law and take care with the parents-in-law. So that's kind of culture. So always the eldest son is like the most burdensome type of person inside the family. So the culture in China is not like that. So the younger generation no longer have to live with the parents in many of the cities. Like for example, like my parents, my husband's parents don't feel like we should live with them. As a matter of fact, they don't want us to live with them, you know, because that is considered to be, you know, potentially would cause lots of conflicts inside the family. However, if we really discuss the reasons behind that, in my opinion, is because our generation, most of us are a single child. So, as single child, our parents tend to spoil us. They would tend to respect our will, like they would want us to be happy more than, okay, there must be someone inside the family to take care of the entire family, right? So everything is very different when you only have single child, right? If it's you only have one child, like you have lots of love for the child, then you would want him or her to be happy. Then, oh yeah, that's fine. You could just find your own apartment and live by yourself. That is fine. However, if you have, like, for example, 3 children, then you would say, okay, then one of them must take care of us. Like they must live with us. The rest 2 is fine, you know? That's like very different. So the fact that we are the single child generation also changed the society's mentality. In the past, for my parents' generation, I think many of them would still have the very similar culture like Korea, right? One of the children will have to take care of the parents. Usually it's the eldest, right? So I remember recently there is a Chinese drama called 六姊妹, 6 sisters. So basically describe the story of 6 sisters inside the traditional Chinese families. So the eldest one went to take care of the parents. So in the the previous generation, my parents' generation, they are still like that, very similar to Korean society. However, when it comes to our generation, who are the single child generation, so nothing like that anymore. Maybe you still see some part of China, especially in like relatively rural areas, not so developed cities, they still have those traditions. Okay, the younger generation must live with their older generation. In modern cities like Shanghai, I feel like the concept is always like, okay, I don't see any of my friends who would want to stay with their parents. They would always want to, okay, once we get married, one condition, like when a woman and a man want to get married, they would literally seriously have this conversation, okay, we are not gonna live in with your parents, okay, right? Is that okay? Okay, we get married, you know. However, usually maybe when they have children, then parents would come in and help. Then they probably would live together. So that's like the culture in here. So very family oriented, very community-based kind of living, with a tiny bit of change nowadays because of the single child generation. Yeah, so that's basically how it's like today. Yeah. So of course you would also see lots of the things that changed because of all the things that happened in here, right? Yeah. What about Chinese or Asians in the West, right? That's a very good question. Okay, guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please, and keep on tapping the screen to send in likes, okay? My friends, help me reach over 10,000 likes, okay? Help me reach 10,000 likes, okay? Follow me please, okay, guys? Follow me please if you haven't done so, okay? And also join my team. Has anyone joined my team? If you haven't joined my team, join my team, okay? I think everyone on RedNote, you guys have 1 free chance of joining my team every day. So I think this button is right here. Just click this button, and there's a place that says that you could join my team, 加粉丝团, and that's like free. Join my team, okay? I need 5 people to join my team, okay? Guys, if you're in the live, you really like it, follow me, okay? Tap the screen to send in likes. And also, if anyone really like me, you could also send 人气票 in this. Just click the button in here, and there's like a ticket. Just send in the ticket, okay? Yeah. Any more people join my team? 亮一下粉丝灯牌好吗？谢谢大家。可以亮一下粉丝灯牌，谢谢大家。Okay? Yeah. So back to this question. I joined. Thank you, Velasco. Yeah. Always good to see you. Always good to see those familiar faces. Yeah. So okay. So people ask about like how about the Asians and Chinese living in the West? I consider the culture to be very similar, to be very same. So I remember there's a very interesting American drama depicting the Asians, the Chinese living in the US, how their lives are like. It's a comedian show. So you could observe, and you're ABC, right, my friends? So if you're ABC, you could also share in here. According to my observation, I definitely have lots of like ABC friends myself as well. Oh, thank you, my friends. Join my team, right? Yeah. Guys, join my team, okay? If you haven't done so, follow me, please. If you haven't done so, okay? Follow me. Don't forget to follow me, okay? And also join my team if you haven't done so, okay? So I do have like lots of like ABC. So ABC means like American born Chinese, BBC means British born Chinese, Australian born Chinese, those kind of like foreign born Chinese who was born in foreign Western countries and grew up in Western countries. However, because of their origin from China, their origins are from China, so they actually implement lots of the traditions just like us in China. As a matter of fact, just same as what Qishan just said, Yinghuo said, right? Yinghuo, not Qishan. Yinghuo said like some Chinese born overseas are more traditional. The reason behind is that many of the Chinese people, they migrated to overseas, and they have kept lots of the traditions that are so old that even nowadays, right now in China, we no longer have them. That's a very interesting phenomenon. So you would see those kind of overseas born, like those Asians, those Chinese overseas, they potentially might have like more traditions than us, like modern, like local Chinese people. It's very interesting. And also like one thing that I could also share with you, right? So there's like a very famous comedian, like Asian Chinese comedian called Jimmy, what is his last name? Jimmy O Yang. Do you guys know Jimmy O Yang? Like, I think he's like quite popular in the US and he's very funny. So he recently started a Red Note account on Red Note as well. So he shared lots of posts himself speaking Chinese. It's very funny that he's from Shanghai. So I feel like he's not very good at Mandarin. However, he's very good at Shanghainese. He's also definitely very good. His mother tongue is actually English, right? He's best at speaking English. At the same time, he could also speak Shanghainese. I am a Shanghainese, right? I can speak Shanghainese fluently. I can tell the Shanghainese he speaks is more traditional, more like older Shanghainese than us. So it's almost like English, right? You're listening to those kind of English that in this English movies, like American movies in the 80s, right? For example, the English they speak in the movie Gone with the Wind. It's not like the American kind of English you're speaking right now, right? So that's the feeling I have. So when I was listening to Jimmy O Yang speaking Shanghainese, I was like listening to the Gone with Wind kind of version of Shanghainese compared to the Shanghainese I speak. So that is like one, proof of how overseas like Chinese, the accent they pick up is like very old. So there are also like lots of traditions they have when it comes to like many things. So back to that question, to be honest, I consider I also agree with Yinghuo that like many of the Chinese living overseas, they potentially might have more traditions than us like modern Chinese people. Yeah. I heard once that contrary to American media, the actual Chinese that immigrate are upper class. So what do you mean? Like by Chinese immigrate to the US are upper class, or like Chinese people with... So I think both. There are like upper class or lower class immigrate to the US. So both of them, I think. Yeah. You're true about him, right? Using old Chinese. Yeah. Yeah, tap screen to reach 25,000 likes. Yeah, guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so, and then tap on the screen to send in likes. It's really nice that you're so open. Yeah, right. I consider myself to be a very open-minded person. Yeah. Chinese people are so beautiful. I'm glad you think we are beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. 还有其他人可以加粉丝团吗？谢谢爱玩少女肥肥。Yeah, guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please. Yeah, follow me please. Thank you so much. Yeah. And also, yeah, we can share a bit about the those like very interesting culture in China. So for example, one thing in China is, have you guys heard about 坐月子? Like translating directly into English is called sit the month. Sit the month. Have you guys heard of it? My foreign friends. For Chinese friends, of course, literally everyone would heard about it, right? For foreign friends, you probably haven't heard of it. So like women are supposed to just stay at home for 1 month after they have their baby. And it's actually considered to be a very interesting culture. So there's lots of like things you're supposed to do inside this 1 month. And I noticed that compared to the Chinese who live in the West, the Chinese who live in the East probably have like less things to do when it comes to this like 1 month compared to actually, you know, those like traditional families in the West. Well, of course, unless those are Chinese who are like really westernized, they probably just ignore all those traditions and just be like foreigners, right? So Chinese people feel really amazed, like somehow one foreign woman have baby one day and next day she just walk on the street wearing shorts and just walk like a normal person. We consider like, oh my god, you must have a very amazing different body structure than us, because like all the ladies in here, once we have babies, so we have to stay at home and take care of ourselves for 1 month. And as a matter of fact, like here we even have this like 1 month sit a month business, like a sit a month center, like very fancy hotel style, like the sit a month center, just giving cares to those new moms. Yeah, very interesting culture. yeah, very interesting culture in here. So inside those kind of nursing center, they would provide you all the fantastic services. First of all, like meals that is supposed to help you like heal your body after having the labor, you know, all sorts of things like that. Like very interesting. Yeah. 跟老外分享一下坐月子的这个事情。In Colombia, we're very open to foreigners. Some of us invite them to have lunch or dinner. Yeah, that's why, likewise, same. In China, yes, we also do that. It's just nowadays we wouldn't really, if we just meet someone randomly on the street, then I don't think the Chinese would invite the foreigners to come over to eat at home. Maybe that would still happen. It's just doesn't happen very often. I'm not sure, like my friend called Juan, are you saying that in Colombia you guys would like meet some foreigners on the street and then invite the person to come over and have lunch or dinner at home? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't think that's gonna happen a lot here in China, because I feel like nowadays whenever people start to live in city, people just become colder than before. Then back in the days, like everyone lived together in the village and people are just like really friendly, you know, always wanted to welcome other people to come over and have dinner and lunch at home. Nowadays, people are just like more minding their own business rather than minding other people's business, you know? So I don't think that would happen. However, if you just meet some Chinese on the street, and they would be like really happy to meet you and greet you. So, yeah. Have you ever explored in East Africa, Tanzania? No, my friend, the furthest I've been in Africa is Morocco. I've always wanted to explore further in Africa. Africa is definitely a very amazing, mysterious in my mind, and also a very fun continent to visit. There's so many countries inside Africa I would definitely want to visit, my friend. Yeah. And guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please. I was taught Qigong means energy work. Yeah, right. That's a very good translation. Translation of Qigong, like energy walk, like move the energy. You could feel the energy flow inside your body once you start to do Qigong. You could feel the energy flow going from here to there. You know, yes, I feel like energy work is a really good translation of Qigong. Yeah. Guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so, okay? You look like a star named Guan Yue. Who's Guan Yue? Yeah. What's your next place you're keen to go? There are so many places I really want to visit, right? Just look at the map. Like Africa, like I said, right? I definitely wanted to visit Africa, like to see those animal migrations, right? Definitely. So, and also in Europe, even though I've been to Italy, but I've never been to like southern Italy, southern France. So these are also the places I wanted to go to see the European village life. Something I definitely wanted to see. And also Iceland, right? Europe. And also Canada, I've never been. And definitely my Latin American friends definitely wanted to visit Mexico, you know, those Brazil, all those like beautiful places. And also I want to visit India as well, because I heard Indian food, local Indian foods are really good, tasty. It's just that you have to watch out about the sanity problem. Yeah. Yeah, and also Greek, definitely want to visit Greek as well. Yeah. 哇，你的口语好好听，是吗？好好听，你就多听会儿吧。那就得关注我哈，同志们关注我，关注我。Yeah. Yeah, so at birth, the child is one for you while we only start counting. Oh, yeah, right. That's also very interesting. in China we have this thing called the real age and the, how to say, 虚岁啊. With the real age at the nominal age and the real age. Yeah, I guess. Like, so when once children were born, they were age 1. they were 1 year old. So the real age, for example, say for example, if you were born in the year 2000, right now the real age should be 25, right? So there's also a nominal age which is 26. That's like an Asian culture. I think it's not only in China, also in Korea as well. Like they have this kind of culture, 十岁虚岁嘛, right? So you're right. Oh my god, my furry friends, you know about China. You guys know about China. That is interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I once read in an ancient Asian culture, you didn't reach adulthood until 30. I don't think so. I don't think so. So we consider ourselves adulthood at the age of 18, just like you guys, just like in you guys. It's just, there's just saying like 30而立. That means that once you reach the 30, then you should have established career and established family. So you're supposed to get married and have a good career at the age of 30. So they say like 30而立. So I guess that's what you heard. So it's not like adulthood is like 30. So adulthood here is like 18. Yeah. Yeah, 虚岁就是百怀胎十月三. Yeah, so yes, I think that's a really good explanation. So why we here have a nominal age and a real age is because we count the age of the child since they were in the mom's belly. So the age started, we started counting the age when they becomes our like a small embryo, like inside the mom's belly, and we start counting the age. Yeah. Yeah. Embryo, right? Somehow couldn't thought about this word. Yeah. How are you guys? Okay, follow me, please. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see what are the things that we can discuss about. Embryo age versus birth age. Yes, exactly. That is like the something about Asia. Well, I can assist you here in East Africa if you would love to. Yeah, that would be fantastic, my friend. That would be fantastic. Yeah. So I was literally thinking that, for example, if next time I visit in foreign countries, I would just ask in the live streaming like, hey, is there anyone from that country? Could you give me some tips, or are you actually willing to show me around yourself, you know? 胚胎, what is embryo? 胚胎, yeah. When are you going back home? Tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, I will fly back. So I literally booked the flight later so that I could finish the live streaming and then fly back. So my flight is around 11:10, 11:20 something ish tomorrow, so that I could still have my live streaming from 7:30 to 9:30 with you guys and then have time to go to the airport. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So I really like the fact that I could have live streaming every day and so many people are coming into my live streaming. We can have lots of discussion. I really like it. So even though I'm on business trip, even though I can take on an earlier flight to go back home and rest, still I feel like, hey, maybe I should just finish the live streaming first and then go back home. Yeah, yeah. So that is why, guys, you need to follow me, okay? For any new friends in here, you guys need to follow me, okay? Yeah.在哪个国家留学的? So, okay. So I did an exchange program. So I studied my undergrad degree here in China. So I did an exchange program in the US, and later I did a master degree in UK. So that's my education background. So people ask me like, hey, why are you able to speak English so well? I consider it's more because, not because of those overseas global education experience, it's more because of my work experience. So back then, when I started my career, I worked in a US firm. So every day, like the morning meetings conducted in English, and every in-house materials are English, and the emails I wrote must be in English. So everything English, like every day English, like you just get to practice a lot. So it's very important in order to speak very good English it's like so important, like I have to expose myself in a very English environment, right? So I would say also you guys helped me improve my English a lot, because when I started becoming an entrepreneur myself, right, starting doing business here in China, in mainland China, I am no longer exposed to the very English speaking environment. So there were a period of time that I could feel very clearly that my English was no longer like before, because I didn't practice it. So for example, I could feel that somehow, okay, I was no longer so fluent like before when I want to speak in English. So for example, if in case I would have to conduct a meeting with a foreigner in English, that I will literally just go watch, say for example, those American dramas like Friends or Game of Thrones, just try to practice a little bit about the listening ability. Yeah. So the fact that we're speaking English every day, you guys are helping me to maintain the level of English. Actually, I'm also improving, because every day there are some words that I don't know about, right? So say for example, embryo, I somehow forgot about this word. You guys remind me, and then I was able to learn it and then improve on my English speaking. Yeah. Ability. Yeah. So that is also very, very interesting. Do you love nature? Yes, yes. Compared to all sorts of different sceneries, I love nature most. I am okay with those kind of human sceneries. I am more into like natural scenery. Definitely a natural scenery person. Yeah. When do you start learning English? At the age of, I think, around 10. In our third grade. In our third grade, in our primary school, like everyone starts to learn English. Yeah, I think nowadays the children start to learn English earlier. Like many parents would, you know, put their children into English class at a younger age. And also there are so many like online courses right now in China. So they could just book their children some online courses and just let them study English at a younger age. Yeah. I wish I could visit China once. Yeah, come visit China, my friend, Beto. Yeah, come visit China, my friend, Beto. Yeah. China is amazing. And just so my new joiners in here, okay? Any new joiners in here, any new friends in here, just so you know, since December last year, China has loosened its visa policy to so many countries. If you are a citizen from 54 countries, there's a list of 54 countries, as long as you're citizens of these 54 countries, you are able to visit China visa-free for 10 days. Okay, it's like 240 hours in transit visa. Okay, so those 54 countries basically cover the majority of the developed countries in Europe, and also America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, as well as like Mexico, Brazil, Chile, those South American countries as well. So it's definitely opening up its gate to so many foreigners. So as long as you are someone from these 54 countries, you could just come to China without applying for a visa. As long as you're going to you can prove that you're transiting in China. Okay, so how do you prove you're transiting in China? Like a very, very easy way to do it is just fly to one of the biggest like mainland China cities and play inside mainland China, and then just make Hong Kong as your last destination. That's how you're supposed to do that. Like for example, you could just go to Beijing first, Xi'an next, Shanghai, then Sichuan, then and spend 10 days, and then just fly to Hong Kong as your last stop in China. And then from Hong Kong, fly back to your own country. In that sense, you're able to stay in mainland China for 10 days, visa-free. So it's like, yeah, Chile is also visa-free. Yeah, Chile is in one of the 54 country list. So Battle, you don't need to apply for visa to fly to China, like the way, if you do it in the way I just shared with you, Yeah, 大连很好，大连好多好吃的 Yeah. 喜鼎，对吧？喜鼎水饺 is from 大连 Yeah, my friend. Yeah, super, right? Yeah, so if you really want to visit China, you should just make the plan. Yeah, so I also have created a WhatsApp community for people, like really welcome all people to come and join. So that WhatsApp community really we're sharing different stuff on China, places to visit, food to try, and also like detailed guidance on visa application, whether you should apply for a visa or you should not apply for a visa, etc. So Yeah, very welcome you to join. How you can join, just go to my homepage and see in the bio, there's a link for you to join, okay? If you can't join, just you could message me for the link to join, okay? Yeah. Dumplings, my favorite food, yeah. What do you think about being an artist in China? Because I am an artist. To be honest, that is not a field that I'm very familiar with, my friend. Like artist in China, art industry, not so familiar with that, unfortunately. Yeah, so 主播去过哪些国家呢？去过很多国家。Yeah, people ask me like how many countries have I been to? I've been to many countries. Okay, so let's go by continent. I've actually said that, told people before in my live streaming before. So this username is great. ABCDEFG. Welcome ABCDEFG, and thanks for following me. Friends, follow me please, okay? Guys, follow me please if you haven't done so. Anyone, any new followers? Follow me please, okay? Guys, follow me please. Yeah. Hello, Nick Talk, have you followed me? Guys, follow me please. How are you so effortlessly beautiful? Thank you, my friend. Very amazing, very fresh. Thank you, that's fantastic. And guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you think I am beautiful. Follow me please if you think I am amazing. Follow me please if you think my live streaming is interesting. Follow me please just because you like me, okay? Yeah. Yeah, I just got here, right? Nice. What do you mean by you just got in here? Like you got here in the live streaming, or you got here, like you literally got here in China, or traveling in China? What do you mean by you got here? Right. I must save a lot of money. It is a little bit expensive. Oh, so yeah. Are you saying the flight ticket? The flight ticket can be expensive. So I guess like the flight ticket is the only thing that is expensive, because once you reach China, everything else is very, very, very cheap. So if you want to save the travel expense, then you could just go to places like Yunnan, Xinjiang. These are like very beautiful places with a lot of like natural sceneries, however extremely cheap. Just don't go to Beijing, Shanghai. These are like very pricey cities. Just go to those places that have like that are richer in Chinese culture and very delicious, have very delicious tasty food, friendly people, however a lot less pricey. Yeah. I previously have done the calculation. So say for example, if you spend one entire week in Yunnan, it can definitely cost you less than 1,000 US dollars. So if you do it in a very thrifty way, you could even minimize the cost to like less than 500 US dollars to stay for an entire week in a province called Yunnan. That includes all the accommodation, transportation, and tourist attraction tickets. You know, that is how cheap it is. Yeah. I'd like to visit someday. That is fantastic, Nick Talk. Please come visit. All Chinese we are in here, welcome the foreign friends to come visit China, okay? We would love to have all the foreign friends to come visit China. You'll see plenty of people just like me who are very nice, friendly to all the foreign friends, and always happy to help, answer questions, and greet you guys on the streets. And there are also a lot of people who are able to speak very good English in large cities such as Shanghai, okay? There are many people who can speak very good English, yeah. Also, that's another very interesting topic I discussed with Ashu yesterday. Okay, so Ashu is also an English-speaking content creator on RedNote. And then we had dinner yesterday just for new joiners who don't know about that. So I didn't know her. It was my first time meeting her. And it's because of the RedNote, we were both English content live streamer. So I text her, message her, and then she was like so friendly, text back, and we were able to arrange this dinner together, right? And also we discussed about that. Yeah, wait, what was the thing that I was discussing about? What was the thing we were discussing about before that I was about to share? My goodness, I forgot. I lost my memory. What was it? What was the last thing I was talking about before I said about like meeting Ashu? What was the thing I was talking about? Oh my god, I forgot. 刚才在聊啥来着？忘了。I'd like to go buy a lot of哪吒items. I'm a big fan of哪吒too. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm a huge fan of哪吒too. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of哪吒too. Yeah, it's great that you want to come in here just to buy lots of 哪吒. Yeah. 不是240小时过境迁，我在聊啥来着？我忘了。Oh, cheap cities in China. Yeah, right. I was discussing about the cheap cities in China. Yeah. Wait, then why did I talk about Ashu? My goodness. Sorry guys, like I wasn't having a very good sleep from the last night, so definitely don't feel a lot of energy in me, and definitely don't feel like my brain was functioning like before. So yeah, yeah, anyhow, it's okay. If I could remember what I was talking about, well, did that happen? Does that happen to you as well? Like you were talking something and all of a sudden you just couldn't remember what are the things that you were talking about? Yeah. Oh my god, that is funny. Yeah, somehow I don't remember what's the thing I wanted to talk about. I wanted to share with you guys. Yeah, anyhow. Yeah. House cost of living in China depending on the cities, okay? Some cities it's like very cheap to live, right? I previously, no, 真的, right after the pandemic, I just have this kind of mist in my brain. I could feel about like my memory. My goodness, my memory was a lot worse, way worse before after I got COVID. Do you guys have the same thing as just like me? My goodness. And then I discovered that I actually have a pretty good memory before, you know, because I noticed that even though I could feel like my memory was a lot worse than before, still like my current memory level is like pretty good compared to others. Like, okay, so many of my friends pretty much have the same level of my memory right now. However, my memory was like a lot worse than before, yeah. And wait until you're older, it happens more often. You forget what you went into the kitchen for. You know what? It happens to me already, my friend. The moment I got into the kitchen, I just forgot what are the things that the reason why I want to go to the kitchen for. So, didn't have COVID, but memory is okay. Are migrant workers from smaller towns still common in China? How is the working condition? Yeah, it's still very common. There's still lots of like migrant workers coming from smaller towns to bigger cities and try to make a living in bigger cities. Yeah. 好像你在说哪个城市呀，谢谢你的提醒，对我已经忘了，今天脑子不太灵光，Yeah. So the cost of living in China really depend on the city you live in. So right, for example, I shared in one of the posts, right? I shared in my post before about because my husband is from northeast China, from the city called Changchun. So during Chinese New Year, we went back to Changchun, and I literally just made a video of the supermarket, grocery store shopping, and here I just show the price in there, and somehow that post got so viral, like so many people click likes, and there are lots of discussion underneath because like so many Americans saw the real price in the grocery store and they were like, what, you guys are able to enjoy so many stuff at such a cheap price? Oh my god, everything is so cheap. Oh my god, the cabbage is only 40 cents per pound. Oh my god, like I did well, you know, kind of things, you know. So that is literally what happened in China. So in some of the cities, it is like really cheap, you know. So however, compared to those cities, Shanghai is considered to be relatively more expensive. Yeah, definitely Hong Kong is more expensive because I did the very same video showing the grocery store price in Hong Kong, and people are like not like having lots of reactions on the prices, like, okay, the price in Hong Kong is pretty similar to the price in the US, like nothing really happened. However, when I show this price of grocery store shopping in Changchun, like everyone's like, oh my god, this is so cheap. Yeah. And I also share the experience of the 24-hour spa center. Like, you guys, if you haven't really seen it, just go check my posts, okay? The 24-hour spa center in Changchun versus the 24-hour spa center in Shanghai. Like very different. So the 24-hour spa center in Shanghai is definitely more pricey than 24-hour spa center in Changchun. So it really depends on the city. It's definitely more pricey than 24-hour spa center in Changchun. So it really depends on the cities. Yeah, so some cities can be really expensive. Some city can be really cheap. Yeah, running out of battery, so definitely gonna charge my phone. Yeah. So I also, like, right now I'm traveling in Shenzhen, right? I also consider Shenzhen to be less to be like less expensive than oh my god, this is hard. Okay, I'm gonna just hold it then. Yeah, cheaper than the city of Shanghai, I think. Yeah, yeah, 深圳应该比上海要便宜一点。Yeah. How to join your WhatsApp group? So Mr. Ugly, I'm sure you're not ugly. Why don't you just message me, okay? Just message me, DM me, and after the live, I'll send you the link, okay? That's easier. Yeah, maybe. Where do you live? So I live in Shanghai. I'm from Shanghai, my friend. Yeah. I'm going to Shanghai for one thing, and that is technology. Yes, we have lots of technology in here. Lots of technology. For example, just inside this hotel room I live in, they have this voice control system that can control everything. Let's try, okay? I'm sitting here, okay? My hands are here. I'm not having anything, any like remote control with me, okay? So I'm just gonna say, 小美，
来了。
关闭窗帘。
好的，关闭窗帘。
The curtain. The curtain is closed. Can you guys feel? You see? The light is darker. The curtain is closed, right? The curtain is closed. Okay, I'm still here. I didn't do anything, right? Okay, just showing the high technology in here, okay? So, 小美，
您说。
打开窗帘。
好的，打开窗帘。
And the curtain, you see? Everything is automatically controlled. And that's the hotel, my friend, okay? This is the hotel I live in. And there's also voice control of turning on the television, turning off the television, turning on the air conditioner. Like everything is like voice controlled. And this is not like a fancy hotel. It's just like a mediocre kind of hotel. And also I previously also showed you in one of the live stream of like having a robot delivering food to my room. Is there anyone still remember seeing that? I should probably just make a video of that to show you guys. Like we could just literally order anything online, right? And once it's delivered to the hotel room, they would send a very little cute robots to deliver things to your room. So you just the robot will ring the bell, ring the phone in your room and ask you to open the door. And once you open the door, and then you say, okay, I'm gonna just open the door of the robot's belly and take the food. Yeah, those are all those like very fancy, interesting technologies in here. Yeah, so I just showed you like the voice control to control the curtain raise. So many of the families in here, they have those kind of things as well. So like they would also implement, I see there's actually a content creator. So inside her home, she literally had like voice control on everything, like so technologically advanced. Like in my own home, I also have lots of technology like voice control, right? I use voice control to turn on television, turn off television, turn on air conditioner, turn off air conditioner. Like even for me, I did that. Like I don't consider my home to be like extremely technologically advanced compared to some other Chinese people whose families, whose home are literally just like Iron Man's home, you know, you just have a dedicated virtual assistant who can literally help you with anything inside the home. And that is not rare. Some of the Chinese people, they just do that inside their home, and that is like really amazing. Yeah. Hi, Nitrix. That is very funny of you to say that. Yeah. Yeah, so these are like very great things I was also sharing before about, I definitely do want to say it again, even though I have said it in the live streaming the day before. I think overall speaking, one thing about Chinese people, I think this is definitely something people from other countries need to learn from, is Chinese people, I think when it comes to technology, innovation, we are really open-minded, like really good at embracing it, really are very brave, courageous to try new technology and always want to implement new technology when it's like about home, about everything, transportation, where people just very happy to try different technology. And because like whenever I say, okay, hey, we have this, we have that, I could see like some foreign friends would come in to my live streaming and say that, oh, I don't want to try that. Oh, that is scary. Oh, really? No, thank you. You know, that's kind of the attitude I see a lot from foreign friends from other countries. However, in China, whenever there's a new technology, people will say, oh, that is cool, I want to try it. So the mindset is very, very different. Yeah. Guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so. Have you followed me? If you haven't followed me, please follow me, okay? Friends, please follow me, okay? I feel like China gonna have flying cars soon. Yes, we discussed about yesterday. Well, not yesterday, last week. We discussed about that. So this is like the low altitude industry. The low altitude industry, that was officially become a very key industry that China will develop in the coming decades. Low altitude industry. 低空行业嘛. So what do you mean by low altitude, right? You have all those planes, these are like high altitude, right? When it's like low altitude, it's those flying cars. So there are 3 most famous EV brands, right? Well, actually 4 if you count it in Xiaomi. So previously there are 3 most famous EV brands, which is 小鹏汽车, 理想 NIO, right? 第3个是理想的小鹏，还有一个是什么？比亚迪是吗？ Yeah, there are several like very famous EV brands. For example, 小鹏汽车, they're spending lots of money trying to research, trying to develop like a flying car. And I remember going to one of the shopping mall in Shanghai. They're having the EV brand kind of a show, like showing different cars from different EV brands. And I saw the flying cars from Xiaopeng in the shopping mall. So it's just in the lobby of the shopping mall. They have like Xiaopeng, yeah, 小鹏汽车. Okay, guys, 我这个充电线不太行. Guys, I'll need to go fetch another cable to charge my phone. Otherwise, this phone is gonna run out of battery. Okay. A second, okay? Just gonna get the cable. Otherwise, this phone is running out of battery. Only 3% left. Only 3% left. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, only 3% left. Yeah, and guys, follow me please if you haven't done so, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so. Such a huge power bank, but this is really good. Charges, it has lots of powers in it. Yeah. Hopefully it's charging at a very fast speed, otherwise like my light will just stop automatically. It's really charging. Yeah, I think it's charging. Yeah. No, it's not my house. It's a hotel room. It's not my house. It's a hotel room. So I'm right now on business trip in Shenzhen. So this is like a random hotel in Shenzhen. It's not like a fancy hotel. So that's why previously I showed like people coming to my live streaming. Like even though it's just a normal hotel, like a random hotel, still there are lots of technologies implemented inside the hotel. Like I showed you guys, like the open and close the curtains, right? No, it's not vacation holiday, my friend. It's business trip. Yeah, never vacation holidays. Vacation holidays, I wouldn't be so tired. Business trip is always like very hectic. So for example, this afternoon, I'm gonna attend a conference. Gonna definitely meet a lot of people, have lots of talk. Yeah, so definitely feeling quite tired. So for example, this afternoon, I'm gonna attend a conference. Gonna definitely meet a lot of people, have lots of talk. Yeah, so definitely feeling quite tired. What's your work? So I am an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur myself. Yeah, I do have several startup projects myself. Yeah. And guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so. Follow me please. 有没有中国宝宝可以帮一下亮一下粉丝灯牌? Yeah, can anyone join my team? Can anyone join my team? So I only need 5 people to join my team, as a matter of fact. So I think I probably have 2 people to join my team. So is there anyone who can help to join my team? Yeah, thank you, Lu. You're fantastic. Oh, thank you, Christy. Thanks, 热爱生活, for joining my team. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah. How far are you from Shanghai? Yeah, so I usually am in Shanghai, okay? However, right now I'm in Shenzhen for a business trip. How far? So Shenzhen, Shanghai are like 2 hours by flight. Yeah. 2 hours by flight. Join Nitrix team, please. Thank you. 每天都来亮个灯牌，你太棒了，福佑你，真的看到你真开心。Yeah, yeah. Thank you, my friends. Yeah, what's the other question I just saw? What's the question? What do you always love to think about in your free time? I think about a lot. Honestly. You know, I really like to think. I would consider myself. I think about a lot, honestly. You know, I really like to think. I would consider myself like I really like in the fields that study it and think about it. Study. Is it still lagging or is it better? Is it better? Is it better now? My friend is still lagging. Is it lagging? Is it still lagging, my friend? Or is it good now? Can you guys tell me? Is it lagging or is it good now? Yeah. Guys, follow me, please. Yeah. Better, right? Okay, yeah. I switched to 好了. Okay, yeah. Because the hotel Wi-Fi is not so stable in here. Yeah, so now I switched to my own data plan, so it should be good now. Okay, yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic. 我有点太搞笑了。TikTok 上面有一个老外朋友说，天上的太阳红呀红彤彤，心中的太阳是毛泽东，太搞笑。Yeah, yeah. It's better now. Okay, great, fantastic. Yeah, lag gone. Okay, great. Which hotel? I don't even know. This is just like I think it's a 4-star hotel. I don't even remember the name. I just booked it because it's very close to the conference that I'm going to this afternoon. I'm going to this conference which is in Futian, right? So I just booked a hotel which is I think only 10 minutes away from that conference center. Yeah. Oh, mine is lagging. I didn't hear any. Is it still lagging, my friend? Can people on Rednote tell me if it's lagging? Because like I don't know, usually it's on TT it will be lagging, so I'm not sure about like here on Rednote it's lagging. Yeah, thanks Isaac for sharing the live room. Yeah, 不卡了，好的，谢谢圣诞胡萝卜。Yeah. How can we pay in China without having digital wallet? Do they accept cash? Overall speaking, yes, cash still works. People still accept cash. However, it's just more convenient, way more convenient if you could set up a digital wallet. As a matter of fact, digital wallet is extremely easy to set up. So Louis PT, what you could do is that just download Alipay and just link your Visa MasterCard to it. And literally you just could pay anything in China. It's like very, very easy. It's very easy. And everything is like so much more convenient if you could set up this digital payment. Yeah, so even though we do accept cash, I encourage you strongly to download Alipay and set up the digital payment and just try to experience the digital payment here in China, right? 好卡，哎呀，太卡了啊 freezing now. What? 咋办呢？这个网太差了。Oh, sorry guys about the lagging internet. Sorry about that. Yeah, you could WeChat as well. So WeChat, there's a button inside WeChat called WeChat Pay. You could also link that to your credit card as well. You could pay. Yeah, it's just that because WeChat is for chatting, because probably you would find it a little bit hard to find a place where there is like a WeChat wallet. So like Alipay might be easier, but both works. Yeah. Can we download Alipay in USA? Yes, you can. Yes, Chris, you can. You can download Alipay in the US. I think Alipay is available in US Apple Store, Google Play, in Europe as well. So you can definitely do that. Yeah. Is it still lagging, my friends, or it's all right? Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about the bad Wi-Fi here. Sorry about the bad internet connection in here. Yeah. Yeah, I know the internet is lagging. Yeah, it's because it's in the hotel, so internet is not so stable, my friend. Unfortunately, yeah, I see lots of people are leaving my live streaming is because of it's lagging. Yeah, too bad about that. Yeah. Okay, let's see. 对，我不知道这边怎么回事。I don't know what happened this morning when I woke up. Like I just saw this. Like, not sure what this is. I just saw this. Yeah. I guess I definitely need a lot of rest this weekend after this business trip. Right? Just usually business trip was like very intense, and also because I 认床, right? I'm not able to sleep very well, and whenever I change to a new bed, so I guess overall speaking, I don't get enough sleep, get enough rest, and also working so hard during the day, like I'm starting to have this thing, right? Yeah, you guys don't see it yesterday, right? But you see it somehow today, yeah. And guys, follow me please. Yeah, follow me please. If you haven't done so, yeah. 好累啊，有点累了。Why is everything Ali in China? No. We only have Alipay. I don't know what is Ali Eat, Ali Sleep, Ali Fly. No. We Ali Hospital. We don't have anything like that. It's only Alipay, my friend. You probably also heard about AliExpress. However, we don't have Ali Hospital, Ali Fly, Ali Sleep, Ali Eat. We don't have that, okay? 哦，太搞笑了！有朋友问说，为什么中国所有东西都是阿里？阿里吃、阿里睡、阿里喝？我说没有，我们只有阿里 Pay， 只有支付宝。支付宝英文叫阿里 Pay 嘛，我们只有阿里 Pay。We only have Alipay, my friend. I have never in my entire life, have heard of Ali Eat, Ali Sleep, Ali Fly, Ali Hospital, my friend. That is very funny. Yeah, that is very funny. Yeah, we don't have that. So having said that, like many of the things are already. So in China, like one thing very different about China is that in our I'm gonna do this. So one thing funny about China, this is also a very interesting phenomenon, okay? So I noticed that when it comes to app, designing an app, okay, application, those kind of app you use on the phone. So in the West, people tend to design a very simple app. So for example, this app only has one major feature combined with some smaller features. If the team wants to apply and to introduce a new feature, they would develop a new app instead of just combining the new feature inside the very same app. So like in the West, people don't like to use super app. Like inside an app, you could literally do everything. So the feature of the app has to be very, very easy so that people know how to use it, how to navigate around that. So if you want to have a new feature, then just develop a new app so that different apps serve a different purpose and each app is like very easy to use, very simple. However, in China, that's not the case. You will see lots of the apps are like super apps. For example, WeChat is a super app. Inside WeChat, there are what we call mini programs, which basically is app inside the app. Yeah, that's something I observed. For example, let's say Instagram, WhatsApp. WhatsApp's just WhatsApp, right? You use WhatsApp only for the purpose of chatting. So WhatsApp doesn't have any other features, like you could use WhatsApp to pay, or you could use WhatsApp to call for a taxi, right? You don't use WhatsApp to book a restaurant, right? So WhatsApp's just for talking. If you want to have another business that is like app booking, kind of a booking restaurant kind of business, you would develop a new app specifically serve for the purpose for helping people to book restaurants. However, in China, when people here develop an app, once the app has gone viral, they will consider, okay, what are the other features I could add into the app so that in one day I can make it as a super app. So that's why if you look at the biggest app in China, for example, you look at WeChat, like literally you could do anything in WeChat. They have these mini programs. They basically made WeChat as a platform itself. So that people who are developers team, they might have their independent app. They could make the app become the mini program inside WeChat. So that people don't need to download another app in order to use that app because the app is merged inside WeChat. Has become a mini program inside WeChat. Likewise with many other apps like Alipay as well. Like you could use Alipay to pay. However, you could also use Alipay to go to the hospital and scan your medical QR code, your medical ID card. Like everything is inside Alipay. Yeah, and also your ID card is also inside Alipay. For example, if you go to the police station, if you want to check into the hotel, you have to show your ID, right? However, you don't need to bring your real ID. You could just open Alipay and show the ID, register ID inside Alipay. So Alipay not only served as the purpose of payment, it also served as the purpose of ID recognition. So there are also like so many other things like bundled inside those apps. Also, there's like a very famous app called Meituan. So Meituan first started as an app that could do food delivery, which is like Uber Eats in the US or Deliveroo in the UK, right? So it starts from that. However, Meituan later become like delivering literally everything. You could just book a person from Meituan and ask him to deliver anything you want to. So hey, I want you to go to a drugstore to buy me a medicine, buy me something for me because I'm having a cold, right? Something like that. Or like, okay, I left my phone in my friend's home. I need someone to help me pick it up. I pay. I open Meituan and I say, okay, I want to send someone to go to my friend's home and pick up that phone and send it to my home. You know? So these are like super apps. And also, if you look at the e-commerce platform as well, right? For example, like Douyin, TikTok, right? TikTok itself is also doing the same. Xiaohongshu, RedNote is doing the same, right? It's supposed to be a content creating, a social media of short videos or notes or image sharing, right? However, you could also buy all sorts of things on this platform. So these are also like super apps. And also, for example, we could also talk about some other apps like JD Taobao, right? Inside those apps, you could buy things. However, at the same time, you could also borrow money there. Of course, the purpose of having you borrow money is because they want you to buy more, right? So China, this is like something very interesting, very different. So the reason why I know this is because last year we spent the entire year building an AI app ourselves. So we did a lot of market research about like user preferences, and we noticed the difference between China and the West is that China likes to build super app. So when we started building the app ourselves, we also picked up the Chinese mindset. We wanted to build an app. Inside the app, there needs to be lots of features. And we noticed that, whoa, actually, that's not the kind of thing in the West. In the West, people don't like super app. They like simple app. They like app for one feature. Okay, this app is for this feature, that app is for that feature, so that whenever I have one thing I want to use, I just open this app for this and that app for that. However, in China, it's not like it. In China, it's like super app. Okay, I open one app and I can literally do everything inside it. And also because of that, because like China or Chinese people are so used to those like super apps, so that's why it also means those large tech companies, like everyone can do everything as long as they could introduce this feature inside the app and there are people, there are users who want to use it. They could just do whatever they want, right? As long as they have users. So because of that, there's like very fierce competition among those large tech conglomerates. So you could always see like, say for example, one company developed one feature and all of a sudden the other company just copied that feature and developed inside their app as well. So remember reading an article about RedNote. So many of you guys are on RedNote, right? So my friends, if you don't know what RedNote is, so RedNote is a social media app in China that is very viral in here. Many foreigners are in here as well. So there's an article also discuss about the current scenario, current situation RedNote is facing. So to be honest, RedNote is also facing a very fierce competition. So RedNote is very famous of making note-like kind of posts, right? It can be posts of pictures, can also be posts of videos, can also be live streaming, right? So if you look at the Douyin, which is a Chinese version of TikTok, basically they're doing the same. They also have a page layout just same as exactly as RedNote. So once they have it, it's also like causing direct competition with RedNote, because whatever people see in RedNote, they could also see it in the same way in Douyin and TikTok. So like everything is like so competitive in here in those large tech company. And that's also come to another topic, which is why all those tech companies have those like 996 work culture, 007 work culture, like everyone have to work extremely long hours because they have to stay ahead in the competition, have to come up with new ideas and new products just to be one step ahead of others. Like to be extremely fast, because maybe one day you come up with an idea, you implement it, you are the first to come up with this idea. You might also be the first to have this idea implemented. However, someone see it, someone implement in their apps as well. And if they are faster than you, then exceeds you, and they become better and stronger at doing that. Yeah, so for example, some of you might know Xiaomi, which is like a very famous Chinese brand. They are also introducing EV cars. So I read the book written by their founder, Lei Jun. Lei Jun is like the most iconic figure right now in China. So whatever he says, like it becomes viral. Whatever he do, like it becomes viral. Wherever he goes, it becomes viral. Like even the person stands next to him become viral. You know, that is how viral he is. So he said that actually before Tencent invented WeChat, Xiaomi actually thought about, you know, developing an app just like WeChat. So he thought about doing that, and as a matter of fact, he did it. So he designed and started working on this like WeChat, the first version of WeChat app, himself inside his company. So he was actually basically gambling. So back then Xiaomi was a very small company. However, Tencent has become a very big company already. So he was gambling. So he was saying that inside his book that, hey, so if I develop the WeChat now, and if Tencent were not able to notice it in, I think how long? In like half a year, then I probably stand a chance of winning, and I would become, you know, the builder of the WeChat, and everyone would be using my version of WeChat. However, Tencent just saw that immediately in 1 month, immediately developed the app themselves. And after that, like Lei Jun saw that, and he immediately just abandoned the idea of developing WeChat and abandoned the idea of competing with Tencent directly. And he knows that how fast Tencent could go. So eventually that's why like Tencent was able to develop WeChat, and everyone in China, literally everyone in China is using WeChat right now. Yeah, so that's like how fierce the competition in China is like, yeah. Yeah, tell us more about China. Yeah, I am sharing about China, right? I'm sharing about the tech companies, the competition inside those entrepreneurs, right, with you guys. Yeah, I hope you like the kind of conversation I shared. Yeah, guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so. Follow me please. Have you followed me, guys? Have you followed me? Follow me please. Okay, yeah, follow me please, okay? For new joiners, if you haven't followed me, please follow me, okay? 进来没有关注过的朋友们，记得关注一下哦。关注一下，看了这么久了，必须得关注了哈，同志们，不关注我可不开心了。Yeah. Why do WeChat, if you download, you need to be invited in order to add? No, you don't need to be invited. You just download it, you just register, you use it directly. You don't need to be invited in order to use it. Yeah. Rednote is better than TikTok. Well, it really depends on like how do you like it. So I feel like I shared before, like I used Rednote, oh, thank you for joining my team, my friend. So I use Rednote and I use TikTok for different purposes. Like Rednote is like my search engine. And right now I'm more addicted to Rednote is because my social media account on Rednote becomes, I consider quite successful, my friend, right? Yeah, quite successful. Like I was able to gain lots of followers in the past 2 months and continue to get lots of followers going forward. Yeah, thank you, Fast. Yeah, so like, yeah, so it's like I got very addicted to Rednote. I would constantly check, okay, how many people have viewed my posts? How many likes do I get? How many new followers am I getting in the last 1 hour? Okay, in my live streaming, like how many new joiners? You know, like constantly opening Rednote and check it because I am a content creator nowadays myself, right? Yeah, so before I was a content creator, I actually used Rednote more as a search engine. I use it more as a search engine. For example, I don't know what food to cook tonight, then I would just open Rednote and see like what are the kind of recipes people are sharing there and what are the things that maybe we should try. You know, use that more as a search engine. Of course, like I would use TikTok more as an entertainment engine, and also I would use that as a way of learning. Like there are lots of like content creators create really good videos, like in-depth videos, sharing their views, sharing their knowledge, no matter it's about history, about philosophy, about economy, politics, about like everything. Like I really like watch their videos and hear. That's like a really great way of absorbing new knowledge, especially in nowadays, right, when I was like having really tight schedules. I need to find the tiny pieces of time in order to absorb new knowledge and learn new things. So these are definitely good for me. Yeah. There is such thing as too much competition, e.g. in China's EV and auto industry. Literally in every heated industry in China, there's like too much competition. Competition is good in a way that as consumer, because of those competition, you always see like more innovation. And also competition can be like whether one car can have more advanced technology, right? For example, if the battery inside the EV car can last longer for every brand, so they are constantly competing with each other. Lots of competition as a result becomes very good for consumer. And also if one EV brand lower their price, then the rest of EV brand will have to lower the price. These are also good for the consumers, right? Yeah. So competition is not good in a sense for people working for those companies, right? Because like competition is so fierce that people working inside the company are always under great pressure. Like always under great pressure, like, okay, so how am I able to build something faster, something more wonderful than my competitors, right? So that's why the work culture, everything is not so good in those like large companies because of the very fierce competition, right? Yeah, it's crazy, yeah. You're very intelligent, very smart. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I set up WeChat and Alipay from Australia, no big deal. Yeah, no big deal. If DM can do that, Mono, you could do that too, my friend. Yeah. China's population can handle the competition. I seriously believe it's because of China's population that we have such great competition, right? If you're looking at the country, if say for example China this big only have 20 million of population, you will see like way less competition than now. It's because like here in China is such a big market and there's so many talented people inside China. Like everyone is super talented. Okay, someone can come up with a great business idea. It means that someone else could also come up with this great business idea. So there's like lots of competition. If there's a really good job opportunity, I want to compete for it. There's another one who want to compete for it. So you have to be really competitive. You really work extremely hard to show that you are more excellent than others in order to be successful, in order to win the business opportunity, in order to win the job position in China, right? So I think it's not like the China's population could handle the competition. It's because of the China's population that caused the very fierce competition. However, also because of that, though the competition environment here in China, like a domestic competition, like the competition inside the country is very fierce, also somehow indirectly helps the overall speaking, the competitive strength of China when it comes to the international level. That makes China become a very competitive country as well. So that is also a good sign. I mean, so overall speaking, everything has two sides, right? Every coins have two sides. One thing that is able to have like bring something good, something bright, then on the other side will also bring something bad, right? So it's very important that we see everything in a very critical way. Yeah, 非常辩证的去看一件事。Do you have 330,000 followers? Do I have it? I don't know. I haven't checked it. It would be great if I can have it. Yeah, I hope that I could have one day reach 50,000 followers. Yeah, that is my goal. I really hope that I could reach 50,000 followers. If I could reach 50,000 followers, that would be considered to be a milestone for me. Yeah. So right now, 小红书啊，帮我多推流啊！我这个这么好的高质量主播，你还不给我赶紧推流？快点多给我点流量，快点把破天的流量富贵快给到我。大家是不是认同 ？Do you guys agree that Rednote should give me more traffic? Right? For such a great talented host like me, right, who are able to share so many things, so insightful, and at the same time who are so beautiful, don't you agree that Rednote should give me more traffic? Right? High quality live streamer, high quality host. I deserve more traffic, right, my friends? Yeah. I think you could achieve that. Yeah, I think I could achieve that too. Yeah, I can't agree more with more. Yes. Oh, yeah, guys. So maybe we should do this every day in my life. Whenever I do live streaming, people just type in the comments and say, Red Note, give more traffic to this lady, give more traffic to this lady. 大家这个每次直播开始以后，大家就在评论区边疯狂打码说，快点推流，小红书平台快给他推流。Yeah, so that people in Red Note will see and then, you know. Yeah, 挺累的，一直说，我觉得今天有点累了，因为又出差，真的觉得有点累。今天整体很明显感觉到自己的 energy level 不如之前，而且我这个气都有点提不上来，真的是感觉今天有点累呀。才智与美貌并存，哎呀，真会说话，小刘飞，给你个爱心。Yeah, by your assessment, there's at least a couple of nitrics in China. Yeah. There are plenty of people like me. You know, 要补充点黄芪了。不感觉我就马上要来大姨妈了，感觉有点更加虚弱了。Yeah. So also so I was right. I recalled what are the things I was trying to say about the dinner with Ashu yesterday. Yeah, right. Oh my god, finally remember the thing I forgot earlier. Unfortunately, many people have already left. So for those of you who stayed, you finally catch the thing that I forgot about saying. So I was saying that like in the dinner last night with Ashu, we were saying that to be honest, there are actually a lot of people just like me and like Ashu that we're able to speak English very well, and we also have smart brains and we have a lot to share, right? However, not many people are willing to start a live stream, become a live streamer, and really get down to be a live streamer in here, right? So, because like Chinese people, like I shared before, like in Asian culture, we have this thing, like every people pay lots of attention and like about their face, like they don't want to lose face, like they have very high self-esteem, like dignity, like they feel like it would be like very embarrassing, like embarrassing is like lose face, we say it's losing face, right? In Chinese, like 很丢脸或者很没面子的一件事情, right? If they start a live streaming, so let others watch them, like speaking and talking, even performing in the live stream. And also it would be even more embarrassing if they start a live streaming and nobody comes in and watch them. So even though there are actually, I know many people, I know many friends, like Ashu also know many friends, like both of us know like a lot of people who are like equally talented as us and who are equally able to speak very good English like us. They are not willing to start a live streaming. So for example, once I started live streaming, I find it really, really helpful, and I personally find it really interesting, and I really like it. I really enjoyed it. I encouraged my friend, there's a very close friend of mine called Jennifer, and said, Jennifer, you should try it too, because you have a way more funnier personality than me. I'm pretty sure once you started live streaming, there will be plenty of people who really, really like you, because if I can be a huge fan of you, there will be other people who are a huge fan of you. And the first question she asked is, okay, I can do that, but can I not show my face? That's the first question she asked. So she also speaks very good English and like Chinese, like very smart, and she's like super, super funny, you know? So I discussed that with Ashu yesterday, and we were like, okay, so just because that even though there are people like us, but they are not willing to do it, so this becomes a golden opportunity. So in China, if you split the people into half, like some people are not able to speak very good English, right? So for people who are good at English, who are able to speak very good English, are not willing to do that. So that comes to our opportunity. Like for people like us who are able to speak very good English, who are willing to do that, then this is a golden opportunity. So we all started from January, like Lisa, like me, like Ashu, we started from January. And just because of the TikTok ban, foreigners flooded to Red Note, and we started them. And every one of us, as long as we are willing to show our face and coming into the live streaming and just talk in English, all of us gain lots of followers and gaining a lot of followers literally every day, right? So yeah, we discussed about that. It's about like whether you're able to get down to the earth and don't worry about, you know, there's chance you'll be embarrassed. Just be very brave and just to start, right? Just take out the extra step and start doing the live streaming, and then that's how it's things will just happen naturally. 躬身入局, exactly. 躬身入局. Yeah, Lisa is the other popular English speaker live streamer. Yes, yeah, that's the Lisa I am talking about. Yeah. She's like way more hardworking than me. Like I only do live streaming for 2 hours every day, morning time, because I have to spend the rest day working on my own startups. I see that she does like live streaming. What she does, like she go outside to do live streaming, walk on the street and walk for like 4 hours, 5 hours and continuously doing live streaming. Like so hardworking. I don't think I can do anything like that. Yeah. Not everybody can be as beautiful as you. Oh my God, you're so sweet, my friend. Okay, time's up, my friend. I have a very busy schedule today, so time's up. Another fantastic day with you guys, and thank you so much for joining my live. For those of you who haven't followed me, don't forget to follow me, okay? Do you know Lisa? Yeah, I know him. I know her. Yeah, I know her. Yeah. So we actually would talk to each other on WeChat. So yeah. So guys, follow me please, okay? 还有谁没有关注的，赶紧关注一下。Guys, follow me please if you haven't done so, okay? Follow me please. I'm gonna be angry if you don't follow me, okay? Yeah, please follow me. Yeah, it would be great if you could follow me, because my target is to reach 50,000 followers on both platforms. So it would be great that you could follow me, okay? And thank you again for my friends to come into my live. And just so you know, for those people who are new in here, I usually would have lives from 7:30 to 9:30 every morning. And also I received messages from people asking me that, okay, you know, this time I probably won't be able to join my live streaming. Could you actually record it and replay it? We are working on that, okay? We are working on that. So I would record the video every day. So we would choose a nighttime, China nighttime, to replay it, so that people who are unable to join it during the morning time could still watch my live streaming at evening time, okay? Working on that already. Just so you know, we'll also show it again like in the evening time. Yeah. So look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time. And thank you again for joining my live today. Okay. Yeah. Bye-bye, my friend.